Everyone, welcome to our world session for March 12th, 2024. Okay, so we had a long, little frustrating discussion. I felt really frustrated while we were talking because there were all these buts, but coming up. Whatever was talked about, it was but. And then all of a sudden I just thought, oh, it's creativity. If we've got a problem, if we have a money shortage, or if we have someone mentioned touch deprived. And then I said, well, why don't you get a massage? And well, no, there's the money issue. It's like, oh my goodness. And the next thing I thought, well, there's so many things you can do. You can, massage your own body. You can tell your kids. I was thinking also what I used to do with my nephews. I would tell them, okay, could you walk on me? They were little at the time, and they would stand on I'd lie on the ground, they'd stand on my bum, and they would, I didn't have money or anything, and they would stand on my bum and they'd bounce on my bum, and I'd get my little massage. So from there, where do we segue to? Well, we're not being creative with possibility. So, someone might say, oh, I don't have enough money to buy massage oil. Okay, go find the cheapest oil you can possibly get at the grocery store. Of course, something that you wouldn't be allergic to, like peanut oil, might give you a rash. I've done it and it gave me a rash. So don't use peanut oil, but you might use a different, type of oil that's on sale. Even if it's sunflower oil, what are you going to do? Just massage your body and then go take a shower. So from there, it was really obvious that we need to do something about creativity. So there's sort of three sections we're going to work with today. One is we've just had change of season, northern, southern hemispheres. Northern hemisphere, we're going into spring. No, we haven't changed seasons yet. We've gone into March, which the change of season is coming. We had a time change. Sorry about that. And that really impacted a couple of us. Some people got more energy, whereas others have less energy. So that is a little bit more difficult, because how do I get more energy? Well, we can do things like get body talk sessions, of course, or get these sessions that we're doing online, of course. Two is finding original, or I'm saying original, but I'm thinking of being creative. So if I don't have energy, what is something creative that I can do upon awakening? So, you could think about, if I wake up and I have no energy, there is a thought that goes on. Oh no, I don't have energy again. Oh no, what's wrong with me? Oh no, I'm so tired, and I feel all the drama. So, of course, your thoughts are going to come. We're not talking about getting rid of thoughts. Meditating is wonderful to be able to have space between your thoughts. You can certainly, depending on where you're at, you might have thoughts coming in and they're inundating you like crazy. Then some of us I hear it, and of course I just go, yeah, thanks. But I'm going to see what my body actually needs. And this is where I start to move, but I move so minutely that it's in that minutia of movement, there's energy starts to come up. Because I'll give you a reasoning, let's say, if this actually is the actual reason. I'm not 100% sure, but most of my life, burst out of bed, 4 o'clock in the morning, go. Then, you age. Things happen to your body and it's not functioning as well. So my natural or habitual way of doing things from a very young age, doesn't work. So the brain says, oh, what's wrong with you? Maybe there's nothing wrong. Maybe the approach needs to be original. And this is where you need your creativity. So less movement when you're really tired, when the season, when you're leaving a season that was quieter, like summer or winter, and then we're coming into spring, which is going to naturally give us some energy. Maybe just moving really slowly. I mean, I'm talking about so slowly. Like, let's say I do a stretch for my hand. This would be the stretch. Now maybe I go back. Then I go open again until at some point it will open, but it might not, and that's fine. It might just want to move. So I just follow the volition of my own musculature. So it might be just so tiny, it remains like this. Now I'm using my hands, I don't necessarily do that, but with my hips, I do that. I make little tiny, tiny movements. And I find, oh, I'm less tired. I'm more able to move, and everything seems to move a little bit slower. We're just looking at originality here. So this is going to be the extent of, where the brain is able to open up and go down different avenues. So let's work with the yeah buts. So you might hear everything I'm saying, or you go onto different websites, you go onto different YouTube videos, and you say, okay, what's a way I could, I don't know, organize my house? What's a way I could take care of my body? And the next thing you might say is, yeah, but I don't have the finances. Yeah, but I don't have the energy. Yeah, but I don't have the wherewithal. We're going to start to work with those yeah buts. The yeah buts are almost like walls in the brain. So you have something that you can see that you would like to do, whether it's healing your body, moving something a little bit differently, finding different ways to eat, finding different ways to lose weight, finding different ways to exercise, finding different ways to do your work, finding different ways to raise your children, finding different ways to relate to your partner. In all of that, yeah buts come up. No, I can't do that with my partner because I know exactly what my partner is going to say. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, that's your avenue. You're the problem. If you think you know what someone else is going to say, then you're already the problem. You're already causing an exchange that will make the other person do exactly what you want. It doesn't literally say it'll make the other person, I'm being very generic here, but if I'm going to go down the road where I expect you, it's kind of like gaslighting. When someone, let's say, forces a person into a corner and they keep saying things until they get the person in the corner, and then finally the person comes out of the corner and they're yelling and they go, see, I told you were crazy. Right, that's nice gaslighting. So don't forget, I'm not saying we're gaslighters necessarily, but on a mild level, we can be the moment we say, yeah, but about ourselves or another person. You can gaslight yourself. You can gaslight yourself by saying, I would really like to get a massage, but I don't have money. Yeah, so what? Who cares whether you have money or not? What does that have to do with massaging your body? But I don't have money to buy cream. Okay, so just put a couple of drops of water on your hand and massage one little part of you, and that's it. Okay, there's always a way, and there are plenty of massages in the world that you don't necessarily have to use oils. I mean, it's all about the limitations in your mind. So the more you hear yeah but, what we're going to set up in your brain right now, and you can tap this out. If you don't like it, that's fine, don't do it. But if you like it, we're going to set up that your brain will see the yeah but, break it down, and toss it out of your system so you can open up your peripheral vision. So it won't just be vision, it'll be a subtle sense of vision, it'll be hearing, it'll be communicating, it'll be the two sides of the brain coming out to communicate and dumping some of that information. Now, a lot of the information that is in our mind is generated by the heart. So we get all these thoughts that are generated. Then we as individuals tend to focus on it. If I'm too afraid to step outside my box, I'm going to sit there and use the same excuse because I might be too afraid. Let's say somebody should suggest doing something. I think I don't have enough money. So right away I go down the money circuit instead of, oh, that's an interesting suggestion. How can I fulfill that suggestion? in different ways without necessarily spending a penny. I don't need to spend a cent. I've done this for years. When I was completely broke, I would make $1 here and there, and it was very rough time in my 30s and the beginning of my 40s. So I would find ways to establish my business, to do my work without anything, without spending a penny. I remember my first cards cost me, I think, $10 to make, and I could hand those out. There are always ways to be original and not spend money. And by the way, when we say don't spend money, it's also not using up essential energy that exists in your body that doesn't need to be used. We need to save our energy. We have two kinds. One that is chi, that gets collected all day long, whether it's from water, whether it's from light, whether it's from your food. There's that chi, and we can use that up in a day. But then we have ancestral chi, and that chi is in limited quantity. The minute that goes, we die. So we want to save that energy. It's inherited from our ancestors, and we'll just get this quantity, and we've got to take care of it. It gets used only when there are emergencies. When there's really an emergency in life, let's use it. But God forbid we start using it because we're worrying about money. How many people can vouch for I did? I worried about money. I worried about business. I worried about ridiculous things that I do not worry about anymore because it doesn't do a darn thing to worry about them. So let's help our body minds transmute this energy. Sorry, not energy. We want to transmute the yeah buts, the excuses, the justifications. I like calling them yeah buts because there are habits and there are rabbits, but there are no yabbits. And the minute we hear ourselves yeah butting, well, it doesn't have to be yeah, but you could say, well, I don't have money, so I can't do that. Where is the original thought? Where is the opening? So this is when you can just tap in this formula that is going to help your brain start looking around going, what are things I can do? What do I already have? What is accessible to me? And by the way, the more you open up, somebody sends it to you. All of a sudden, many years ago, I was working with a woman who just said, I don't believe you, Terry Ann. I just don't believe you. I said, what is it you need today? And she said, I need a vacuum cleaner. There's no way I can afford it. And I said, okay, well, let's really set it up. We set up a grid. We set up all kinds of things for her to get a vacuum cleaner. And she's like, I just don't believe this can happen. And I said, well, doesn't matter whether you believe it, just ask for it. Just state it now with sincerity. She was on her way home from my place, and somebody was bringing out a vacuum cleaner, and she said, oh my God, is your vacuum cleaner broken? No, it still works. We just got a new one. We have a lot of dog hair, so, it wasn't picking it up, but it's a great little vacuum. It was actually a Miele of all vacuum cleaners, those little expensive Mieles. She called me up as soon as she got home. She carried it home. She said, I got a vacuum cleaner. I'm like, wow. I was even impressed that it worked within 3 hours. It didn't even take 24 hours for that energy to go out there. So yes, you can have things that you create with what you already have. There's no limitation. But there's also this little added thing is that the universe is always listening to you and bringing something. Right. So, one of the things I'm asking for now is I'm not understanding why I have so little energy. I'm not really understanding why I'm kind of dizzy and, my head's always heavy. I'm not really understanding this. So I just keep sending the message out there on what I need to get that working again. How do I get my head to do this? I obviously get lots of treatments and energy healing. I've been getting tons, but the answer is not coming. Doctors say, well, get a neck massage. All right, okay. So I have no idea what's going on, but I haven't given up. I just keep going, well, maybe something original will come to me, even if it's in my own imagination. Maybe there's a limit to my imagination for what I need to do for my health. Okay. So, because we always turn to this kind of work when there's a mystery illness, right? When there's a straight up illness that is already manifest in the body, usually doctors detect it and we go and deal with it. But when something is a little bit of a mystery, the doctors, it takes a while, it takes lots of testing, and then they still go, we don't know. We don't know what's going on with you. So this is one of the reasons I do this kind of work, is that, in my life, I had lots of little mystery illnesses, and the medical system couldn't deal with it. So I was healed originally when I was in my early 30s doing energy work. So here we are again, trying to figure these things out. So it's all about, one, using your imagination to be able to see how to break through those barriers, even if it comes to your health. Secondly, inviting that originality in, right? We can't forget we have this exchange, right? That, okay, I can be really original with what I think and how to do something, but what if I'm never going to figure that out, but someone can figure it out for me? So you want to be able to attract that, be open to it, which means those, the way I'm seeing this session is a bunch of walls in the head. And we see all these walls and they're really rigid and we can't get through them. Those walls are comprised of our excuses. We're calling them yeah, buts, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but. Yes, we always have these yeah, buts, but they're very limiting. They don't allow access to more information. They don't allow access to someone even walking by you and going, hey, I noticed. What if somebody walks by me one day and says, Terry Ann, I see that one of your chakras is connected to a doorstop. I go, really? Let's cut that and maybe I won't be dizzy. For goodness sakes, you never know what can happen. Okay. All right. So we're going to do that. And we're also going to look at, I really want to do 5 senses. That's really not what I want to do, but I really feel it pulling so that the 5 senses can see physical and experience the physical and the subtle in ways that we might not have been able to before. Okay. I'm not going to give you all the details. I mean, I've given you a story as to what's happening in the brain, but we're really going to get the brain as it breaks down those yeah buts or those excuses. We can clarify the systems. This is a fascinating link coming up now to this. And I really feel something moving on the cranium here. So we're going to link it up to all 14 systems. So that's nervous system, lymphatic system, muscular system, skeletal system, urinary tract system, respiratory system. I'm probably going to forget integumentary system, endocrine system, cerebrospinal. Did I say cardiovascular? Did I say reproductory? I don't even know which ones I've said. Reproductory. Did I do all of them? Where's my chart? Let's see what I've said. I need to write this down. Digestive, I think I missed. Circulatory. We got cardio, cerebro, endocrine, immune system, lymphatic system, I said, muscular, nervous, reproductive, respiratory, skeletal, urinary. Okay, I think I got them all. And we're going to link it up to connective tissue, especially blood, for the flexibility that we're looking for. So we're looking for a lot of flexibility, even in the energy systems. Now, interestingly enough, if anyone out there is dizzy, I'm noticing something going on in the head. I can see a lot more clearly on this one. Let's tap the whole thing in. So all the systems to connective tissue, to blood as well. Blood is a connective tissue. Oh my goodness. And that flexibility. Flexibility. So even looking at the fascia, I mean, obviously it's going to be part of the muscular system, but looking at the whole fascial system. Yeah, I'm getting almost like I'm getting one of the answers to what's going on in the cranium. So we have habits, huge habits, um, that involve, yeah, budding, that reduce, yeah, mm, that reduce the flexibility, even of, veins and arteries. Let's get that flexibility of veins and arteries. That means we can have our stem cells travel a lot better. We can have blood supply. And let's look at a little bit of the genetics along with this. So all those yeah buts that get involved in the nerve 2 pathway, the oxidative pathway of the genetics, and just bung them up for us. So I mean, how cool is that? I've got all these yeah buts in my head, as we all do, and then you look at the genetics right in that in that nucleus, and how all those yeah buts contribute to the oxidative stress. Well, yeah, but if I can't, I can't do that because of this, that, and the other thing, then the genetics are going to keep that oxidative stress within the genetics. So that's going to be precursors to any type of signaling of the methyl or histone markers that can produce cancer or whatever, autoimmune disorder. I'm seeing cancer, autoimmune disorder, birth genetic disorders, which are just about everything from sugar, from diabetes to everything, basically. Yeah, it's going right into the brainstem, and we're going to bring that communication through. The cerebellum is bringing it out. A lot of this that I keep saying is up here is not necessarily just up here. There's the organization of the cerebellum, that the inner cerebellum works with mind, the outer cerebellum coordinates our movement. To be original to, I mean, there is no original thought ultimately, but original for me personally and creative, I need the organization of my mind and the movement of my body to work as well. They need to work together to keep expanding, right? So the thing I keep seeing is when you meet up with a musty old professor who doesn't move, they're not like me where I move all over the place. Or if you think of Jordan Peterson, he's always moving, his hands are always moving. There's something going on in the intuition. Intuition needs movement for her to work. So she needs the container of our masculine to work, right? If you just sit and you don't move, intuition doesn't work. So think about it: intuition, gut brain, the interaction of the cranium, plus we have the head brain, plus we have the two sides, which are feminine, masculine. We need all these things to be moving, to be breathing, to help us figure out whether it's health or something we need to do in our lives, which ultimately is linked to our health. Well, thank you, everyone. That was a super cool session. We'll let that run. Maybe that's a session you could keep running forever until all the yeah buts are gone. But you could sort of archive this one maybe and use it in the future. I certainly will. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.